Hi guys, and welcome back to the Versus Commander series. I'm here with David McDarby. I'm, of course, Jesse Snyder, and we are doing the Commander 2013 decks today. I'm very excited for it. I have the Power Hungry. There's one starting off with Prossh, the Skyraider of Kher, or Kher.
I don't care which way you say it.
Yeah, either one doesn't truly matter. But I'm really excited. This is the Jund Shard deck. It looks very interesting. It's basically, from what I've gathered, is a way to generate a lot of tokens and sacrifice those tokens to get a decent amount of effects from. Obviously, your commander has sacrifice and basically a tog ability, but for creatures instead of artifacts. And his mechanic has to do with the commander tax mechanic, which is the new tech for these.
The new thing they've invented in this set to make commanders be even more relevant later in the game.
Yep, precisely. And he makes a bunch of 0/1 red kobolds of Kher Keep tokens. I'm excited. Back in the day, I really loved the free kobolds. In fact, that's my legacy list. So check there. Don't let anyone know. But he makes those. Good old Kher Keep makes those. But he's just a neat general. I've always been a big fan of dragons and Magic the Gathering, and big fan of kobolds. So this is just right up my alley.
Yeah. For all the people playing Jund, they were tired of the legendary dragon that steals all the dragons.
Oh,
I can't think of his name.
Neither can I.
I'll think of it later on. But he's another Jund dragon that lets you play in the Jund dragon theme, because dragons are either black or red or green generally.
Yep, generally.
Mainly red.
Yep. The Eternal Dragon might be the exception to the rule.
Okay, so his lieutenant?
His lieutenant is the Goblin Brothers from Ravnica, the Shattergang Brothers, and they have basically 3 sacrifice outlets for you to be able to deal with either creatures, artifacts, or enchantments. They're pretty handy for, I guess Jund doesn't really have too much of a problem dealing with problematic enchantments and artifacts, but as a commander, they're cheap, cost 4, and they have a bunch of nice abilities that help you deal with whatever your opponent might be up to.
Yeah, so like he's the new Savra, Queen of the Golgari, was an old Golgari commander that you'd sack a guy and everyone else would pretty much have to sack a guy. And this one is neat that you sack all these things that you probably didn't put a bunch of work into, every opponent has to sack something.
Yep.
So that lets, once again, it gives you value because you're hurting your opponents more than, you're hurting multiple opponents and only hurting yourself a little bit, and in theory, you're not hurting yourself at all. You're sacking an 0/1 or something that doesn't really matter.
Yep.
But he's pretty fun. They're pretty fun, excuse me.
Yep. What I like about their mechanics that affect all of the other players is that their power gets better the more opponents you have.
Yeah.
So normal 4-player pod it's 3 times, and if you get more, like my play group, we used to do upwards of 7 or 8 players because we're crazy.
That's a lot of players.
And with Plane Chase too.
With Arch Enemy?
Yeah. We didn't quite get that far.
No.
We got close.
Vanguard.
Oh, I wish.
Okay.
I got Tangarth at my desk, just waiting. Any event, there's the lieutenant. They're pretty neat. I can't wait to get a chance to cast them. And moving on from our
big two guys, Karthus is the Jund dragon.
Okay.
So they will probably go together.
Sure.
But, yeah.
So I guess we can start talking about some of these enchantments over here, as we have Widespread Panic, and this is
it's pretty much whenever an opponent shuffles their library, or any player, you too.
Yep.
They had to, after they've shuffled, they put a card from their hand on top of the library.
So a lot of like fetch lands or
tutors, pretty much any tutor.
Yep. Anything that makes. What would be funny is if you find an old, long forgotten card from Homelands called Soldier of Fortune, and just keep making them.
Make them shuffle. Yeah, it's the in Commander 2013 there was Stranglehold that players can't take extra turns, or opponents can't take extra turns, and they can't tutor. This one is sort of the same, 1 mana cheaper, but it just hurts everybody, which is how I thought it should have been. Because any Blue-Red player that plays Stranglehold and then Time Warp, like, because it lets you take extra turns against your opponents, I'm like, come on, man. So they learned to fix that. And maybe he's playing Legacy, but probably not. It's 3 mana, it doesn't really do anything. But in Legacy, where people are shuffling their deck every single turn.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting, if someone Green Sun Zenith with this card in play, they will have to put 2 cards because Green Zenith says shuffle your library twice.
Oh, that's
So
true.
it's a pretty good set. So red doesn't want you to tutor things up and play the same game. They want to embrace the chaos.
Yep. Maybe one of in a sideboard. I don't know, man. But the other enchantment I want to talk about is Curse of Predation. Basically, you put a big old bullseye on one of your enemy's backs.
Yeah, you're like, who's winning? You? All right, here you go. Enjoy that.
Enjoy, friend. Enjoy all the extra attention you're going to be getting from all the other players.
Yeah, curses were the enchantment subtype from Innistrad, being that it's a very Innistrad thingy in curses. They can't make too many more curses, but in Commander, anything's possible. So they brought back a cycle of curses that you can just, pretty much they're auras that enchant a player. This one gets my vote for the best one because the other ones make a zombie or you can tap or untap something. But this one, every single one of your creatures gets bigger.
Yep.
So
and if you're generating a lot of kobolds
making
or
tokens,
making a lot of tokens, and all of a sudden
they get huge.
That's true.
So speaking of making tokens, what does this one do?
This is one of the new tempting offer cycle. This is the red one, and basically creates 1/1 red elemental tokens for yourself, and then whoever else decides to join in on the auction block, you get more and more tokens. And like you said in your deck tech, the more other people join in, the better off you get based on how many people decide to take the offer. And I like I said in the last deck tech, is I really do like the new politic focus they're trying to do in this latest set. So I'm interested to see what this will be like in more multiplayer format, not just straight up head to head. But yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
Your thoughts? Sir?
Tempting offer is definitely the multiplayer format. The more players, the better. This one is good in the fact that it has immediate impact. So say you have one guy, Jerky McJerkface, that has Sharoom and a billion awesome artifacts. Well, like, I'll cast this, let's say for 10. I get 10 guys. Does he want 10 guys? If he gets 10 guys, then I automatically have 10 guys attack him with. If he doesn't want it, I still have 10 guys to attack him with. Now, if my 2 comrades, because we're all losing, and the enemy of my ally is my enemy, or something like that.
Close, yes.
Something like that. So he'll get 10 guys, so then I'll have like 40 guys, and he'll have only 10, and then I'll attack him, or maybe I'll attack the guys that gave me the tokens.
The old backstab.
The old backstabbing politic and commander going on. So that one was pretty fun. That was probably the most fun one.
All's fair in love, war, and EDH.
You mean Commander?
Oh, sorry.
The artist formerly known as EDH.
That's true. So yeah, I'm excited about that. We have the Opal Palace, which we went over in your deck tech.
It's just a land that goes well with recasting your general later on in the game.
Yep.
There's a lot of words in there. If you want to, you can read it right there.
Over here
Over
somewhere.
here, I think. So there you go. All right, where are these?
And then we've got some other enchantments over here. We've got Sorcery Restore, put a land from your graveyard onto the battlefield on your control.
The Grave Seek.
Yep.
It's like a Far Seek, but it's for anybody's graveyard, so you can get their land. This
it is from a graveyard. Okay.
This
cool.
card works better in, say, if you're playing Mimeoplasm, like a mill deck that dredges and gets value from your graveyard. You can mill whatever, and then bring back a land that you milled that's very important, like a Thespian Stage or a Maze of Ith or whatever.
The 1001 Great Lands in EDH. Dark Depths.
Dark Depths. That's a very convoluted card. But yeah, some people are toying with this card in Legacy. It pretty much would only go in the lands deck. But the lands deck has Life from the Loam and Exploration, which gets you from your hand. So like, I don't think it really needs this card. Maybe it's the Lands Mirror Breaker card.
It could be.
We'll see you come and you grab their land. But you know, it's a very fun card. 2 mana, and in Commander, Rampant Growth effects are extremely good.
Yep, they sure are. Yeah. Aside from that, we have Night Soil, another enchantment. Exile cards from. Is it a graveyard?
You exile 2 creature cards
from a graveyard, and you get a 1/1 Sapperling. And
the important part of this card is not that it makes tokens, but it hates on graveyards.
Yeah, I was going to say it lets you chew up problematic cards that are in people's graveyards.
Yeah.
And if there's any kind of reanimation strategy going on, you can just, in response,
Get
gobble them up.
Yeah, graveyards, like I said with Restore, are very important and popular in Commander. People will do graveyard shenanigans. And you, as a Commander player, it's your job to stop them from doing that. So my rule in Commander decks is always to have 1 to 2 ways to stop people from interacting with graveyard, whether it be Nile Spellbomb or Tormod's Crib, which doesn't do very well. But this one is a good one that you can get a little bit of value by getting a token, and you can stop people from reanimating their guys or doing whatever. And creature's the main offender from graveyards.
Yep, that's for sure. Believe me, I know where that Thraxamundar list can do some graveyard shenanigans. I'm not going to comment on what the name is a synonym for, so we'll just move on to
right.
Primal Vigor here, another enchantment.
Yeah, it's doubling season.
It's doubling season, but without the clause in it that makes Planeswalkers just silly.
Oh, like you just ultimate them the turn you play them?
Oh yeah, sure. Just here's Jace and
Wheel, Sun, and Moon, Jace, Architect of Thought, ultimate, get a card from you, get Jace, ultimate, get a card from you, Jace. All right.
good game.
Good game, GG. But yeah, so doubling. So interesting. If you have more than these, doubling is cumulative. So you can double, then quad, then octuple,
jeez.
double, then dodecahedron. I'm not really sure.
It's been a long time since I did.
You take the inverse of the antiderivative, multiplied by the hypotenuse.
Yeah.
Negative I squared.
I was thinking of cell division from biology is 2, 4.
Matrix algebra.
Yep.
Okay, so it's a doubling season, which is fun. So yeah.
That's pretty much the long and short of it. I'm excited to make a whole bunch of tokens and then, utterly, cruelly just cut their throats for my own benefit and hopefully take down the old vampire from Innistrad here.
So let's get into some battling.
That sounds good. Let's do it.